Hi guys, Fat Pudding here. Welcome back to a GT7 race on daily races from last week. This one was recorded round Trial Mountain. I qualified 11th in the Mercedes GT3 and I'm just going to give you a little insight of what went on 11th on the grid, like I said. So I had a pretty decent start at the beginning. Tried to stay behind this guy called GBM in the Ferrari. So I did a couple of little different shots to make it a bit more watchable than the usual, just normal front camera. So I took this one full. You can't take that corner full speed, but beginning of the race, with the tyres being cold, you've got to be a bit more cautious. So up on the inside on this turn here, tried to get on the inside like Brit the mechanic, the English guy, but he ends up causing a massive incident. 3, 4, 5 cars abreast. Luckily got round that corner there without incident. And the guy on the left, this guy just ended up hitting me about 3 or 4 times, caused a massive incident. Don't know how I got through that, but I did. I was expecting to get a penalty. Anyway, up into the inside now, through the tunnel, still in 10th position behind the Ferrari. So I'm trying to close this guy down. I don't think I'm close enough in the slipstream to catch him, but just trying to get heat into the tyres, just trying to steady my pace, just get into a nice little rhythm. So as you can see, I'm only half a second behind him, so I am in his slipstream, but this track, with it being so windy as it is quite hard in the initial stages of the race to get close enough for an overtake. So down into the penultimate, well, second to last corner of the first lap, right behind him in 10th place, sorry. Just thinking about making the move on the inside, but just thought to stay behind him and see if I can get him on the start-finish line, because he's a bit erratic. I'm sure he was using a pad. Yeah, took a bit of a wide move there. Thought this was my chance. He pushed me a bit more towards the wall, as you can see. And the guy in 8th place in the Porsche, I think he had a penalty. So 4 cars abreast coming into lap 2. Got the Ferrari behind me. He's getting hit by that other guy who hit me in the first lap. If you remember that little outtake I did. So up into 8th place now, through the tunnel again, trying to stay out of trouble. As you can see, because it is quite difficult, especially with the cars all over the track. Those 2 guys in front, MK5 and Mirko, jostling. MK5 Angel, sorry, in the skyline. He's just been given a penalty. I think that was due to him hitting the wall or going off the track. And we've got the Porsche behind us in 9th place. So this guy's got a 2-second penalty. He decides to slow down. Don't know why, bit strange, but as you'll see in a minute, he ends up trying to overtake me again for some strange reason. So I don't know if he was having like a controller or an issue with his PC or console. Maybe the steering wheel wasn't working correctly. So up into 7th place at the moment, and I've got this guy behind me, the guy who had the penalty, starts hitting me again in the rear. And I've got the guy in the Porsche as well. So this guy pushes me wide. Coming up to the second last corner again. So 3 cars abreast. These 2 guys were both having penalties. I really don't understand why they're jostling, because they know they're going to be going backwards a bit when they go to the penalty system. Checkpoint. So up into 7th place now, going into lap 3, trying to get away from these 2 guys. With those 2 guys having penalties, then I think you've got a good chance to get into the podium positions. So currently done a 1:55.8 on the second lap, a lot quicker than me first, as you know, with all the incidents going on. So back under the tunnel again, trying to catch this Mirko guy. Not sure what car he's driving. trying to just keep it as clean as possible, not to hit the sides of the track, because that's where you do get your penalties. So just down a couple of tenths there, coming up onto the back straight, trying to keep it as tight as I can on that corner, and pushing down through the tunnel on the back straight. Got maybe 2 seconds gap on the guy in 6th place, and there's a couple of guys just going around that corner, as you've just seen. They're jostling for positions. Hopefully they're going to be you know, maybe a little bit slower due to them fighting for 4th position. So I'm just trying to keep it tight on the apex, went a little bit wide there. Great car to drive though, the Mercedes. If you're ever interested in using this car, it is a very good car. Some guy's just got in the pit lane, not sure why that is, maybe he's got some damage. But this track didn't actually need to have a mandatory pit. So those cars have actually basically all got a lot closer due to them fighting. And I'm now up into 5th position. I think that was due to the fact that guy went in the pits. Now this guy in front of me, in the purple car, I think it's the Lexus, don't quote me on that, he'd got a penalty as well going into the final lap. So I've got a great opportunity here to get 4th place, hoping if he makes a mistake. But looking at the leaderboard at the beginning, this guy was a lot quicker than me on the grid. But if I can get into his slipstream, I've got a great opportunity. 3rd place is just in front of me there, as you can see. I think he's been fighting with the guy in front. So coming up onto the back section now, trying to get into his slipstream. But 500s down, he's hit the wall, he's got a penalty. So that's great for me, not good for him. So all I need to do then, my thinking was just to stay behind him, and if I can get close enough I'll make a move. If not, there's no point, because I've got him anyway, because he's going to get a 1.5 second penalty. So braking late on this wide left turn, trying to take it, excuse me, around the outside, trying to get to his slipstream, hoping maybe 3rd place might make another mistake. I think he could be in the Lamborghini. So coming round now to the last couple of corners on the last lap. I've got a 4th place here from 11th on the grid, which I honestly think it was a fantastic result for me. Trying to take it smooth, try not to spin out. Seems to suffer with a lot of traction on that corner, with it being so tight. I'm pushing through now. That guy's got a penalty, and that finishes me in 4th place. So guys, I hope you like this one. I do appreciate all your support. New videos will be coming soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now. Hi guys, Fat Puddin here. Welcome back to another episode of my channel. This one today is Forza Motorsport for a change. This race is around Hockenheim, full circuit. It's a 16-minute race in the Ferrari 488. It's stock tuned, so there's no tuning allowed. Just give you a little information on the track. And before I do that, I'll just tell you I actually qualified at the back of the grid. I didn't actually set a lap time in qualifying. I did some practice laps. So I'll just give you some information on the track. Hockenheim is a town in North Baden-Württemberg, Germany, 20 kilometers south of Mannheim and 10 kilometers west of Waldorf. It is located in the upper Rhine valley of the touristing routes Baden, asparagus route, my apologies, and Bertha Benz Memorial Route. The town is widely known for its Hockenheim Ring and motor racing course, hosted over 30 Formula 1 German Grand Prix races since 1970. So here we go, I'll just give you a little insight into the race. As I said before, qualified at the back of the grid, just got in into a little steady rhythm, as I always say, over braking in this turn here. Got the nice run back on the guy in fourth position called Bogus Planet up on the inside of him. So as I said before, a 16-minute race. I don't know why Forza have decided to do these duration races instead of just a normal, for example, a 5-lap or a 10-lap race. Quite strange for me to have timed events in a multiplayer lobby, but anyway, it may be something that they decided to change due to the original format of the races that they do. Especially multiplayer races all seem to be primarily focused around how many laps you do it on the track, not usually a timed race. But anyway, we'll go with that. So currently up into fourth position, coming around on the first lap. Now, one big mistake that I did make, I didn't take into account that pit stops would be needed. I didn't do enough research on the event information tab before I started the race. And as you can also see in the top right hand corner, because I have put a replay of the race as well, just trying to get my head around how the menu system works with the replays. A little bit more, I would say, a bit more clunky than the Gran Turismo replays. So Gran Turismo is definitely a better game for that type of, you know, replay action that they do with the, not so much with the static cameras, but the, you know, the replay mode. So I was just basically messing about with the cameras anyway. Didn't seem to turn out too bad on my first attempt because I've not done a replay race on Forza before. So anyway, back to the race, catching these two red Ferraris. These guys are podium positions. We've got a guy called Pat Luxer and Mustache. Now what I will say is, as I said originally, on the making the right decision on the tyres and the amount of fuel, I did put enough fuel in the race, but there is a little surprise that one of these guys does do in front of us that does surprise all of us when it comes towards the end, so I won't really spoil it for you. So just coming round onto lap 2, finishing off the second lap, I just thought if I could stay with maybe these two guys in front, because they are jostling for position with this guy called Close Fire, I could actually maybe capitalise, which you do on that little corner there, and move up into a podium position of third. Try to go around the outside of this Close Fur guy, but do run a little bit wide, so decide to get into his slipstream and maybe take him on the inside of turn 1. But this corner is quite tight, so I was just hoping that he wasn't going to rear end me, which he didn't. I did run a little bit wide there on turn 1, as you can see in the replay. I think I did actually get a little bit of a penalty there, as you can see in the top left hand corner. I think what it does is it puts you back, depending on what your penalty is, by the distance, not so much as the time limit, but the distance of how many miles you've done. So just coming back on a little bit more information about the track, I've just been looking. The full circuit is actually 2.84 miles, 4.57 kilometers, with a total of 16 turns. And also this track has had 10 variations since it was originally put onto the international scene in 1932. So the 2002 to date version of the track is actually included with 2.842 miles that I did actually say, and apologise if I did repeat myself. So we are coming into the stadium section now, which is Mobile 1 curve onto the Sash curve. I think we're still currently on lap 3. I think it's a total around about 8 laps. Coming round the Sash curve now onto the Sud curve. I do apologise for the pronunciation, because I presume it should be in German. Coming round, this is the Sud curve now onto the start finish line. Mustache has still got a 3.8 lead. This is turn 1 called the Nord curve, and then we're coming round to a sharp right turn called Einfahrt Parabolica. So still got a 4-second lead on Mustache. Close Fur is about 2 seconds behind. He's actually catching me. I'm just trying to not freak out too much and just keep it calm. Coming round past Parabolica now up to the sharp right hander, which is called Spitzker. And then there's another stadium section just straight ahead of us, just past the in front of the helicopter there, as we pass this right hand turn. Another stadium section here in front of us, and then we're back round for this left hander. It's quite tight actually, using second gear up into Model 1 curve, and then we're back round into the Sash curve again. That's basically all the names of the corners. Quite interesting information though, to be honest, with the different layouts this track has had over the well, coming up to nearly 90 years that it's actually been on the scene. A very popular track, if I do say so myself. As you can see, great spectators' views. So coming up onto this other lap now, tyre degradation is looking around, I would say 40%. The guy in P1 is pulling away every lap. Got over 5 seconds, nearly 6-second lead now. Just took that turn 1 a bit too tight. As you noticed in the replay, it did knock the cones over. I was actually waiting for the penalty, and if you do look up at the top there, I have got 0.003 mile penalty. So that I would think it does put you back distance wise at the end. So for example, if you had like maybe a mile penalty, it would put you back a mile on the track, and then it would formulate what position you would end up being as a result of that. That's my thinking of it anyway, but do let me know in the comments. And also guys, if you do like my content, do please consider subscribing and also hitting for that notification bell for when I do post my future videos. Currently, due to work commitments, I'm only been able to put out 1 a week at the moment, but hopefully if things do change, we'll be putting out more videos with new content, maybe a couple of times a week. All depends on life, you know how things are, especially as content creators. So coming up to the end of this lap now, still okay with the tyres, but I did notice, which will be coming up shortly, the way how quickly these tyres drop off. I am on the medium compound. Guy in third has dropped off a bit. I think he's struggling as well. And I also did notice the strategy of the other people racing didn't go in the same lap as me. I did actually make a big mistake. As you look again there on the graphic, the left-hand tyre or left-hand rear tyre is actually down to yellow now. So this is a part of the race where I do start struggling for grip. So basically it's all going to be down to what lap I decide to come into the pits. Should I change the tyres and a quick fuel? I need to basically decide on the strategy depending on how the car feels. So we're coming around the tight Spitzker here, up in towards the stadium section again. The guy in P1 has got nearly a 6-second lead. That seems to be staying about the same now, roughly around that. The guy in third has dropped off even more, a couple of seconds, and fourth place is down to 8.8 seconds. So those guys are pretty close to each other, so they're definitely fighting for third place. But didn't take into fact the other cars on the track and the strategy this would unfold. So you will actually find out very soon, and the way the car's feeling at the moment, we're starting to lose a bit of grip. As you can see, we are sliding about a bit more than usual. Try not to pushing it too hard. Needed to make the decision if it was going to stay out or not. P1 there, as you've just seen, missed the pit entry and he's hit the wall, so he has actually lost a bit of time. I'm coming up on my lap 7 now. I did actually think that I could do one more lap, but on my part this was a strategic error, because it was the first time we doing this race with this car and this track. I didn't really do enough homework on the best options, but anyway, I had to go with this for this lap, and hopefully the tyres would last the duration. So we're coming round. The good thing about this track, it isn't actually too big, so you know, we're not going to suffer, not lose too much time. But I kept looking at the graphic in the top left hand corner of how much P2 was catching me. If you did look up, you can see that I did have an 8-second lead. It's actually down to 7.5 seconds. Now this will considerably start dropping off now. Pretty much every corner I'm taking, you see the car is just fishtailing everywhere. My tyres now on the graphic, as I've just mentioned, I've hit the wall. I lost complete grip. They've dropped off so quick. There's no grip on them at all now. So I'm losing time. P2 is down to 4 seconds. I've lost another 3 just on those 2 turns. I'm coming around the last couple of corners now. I've got to get the pit entry hopefully correctly, not go over any lines, may hopefully not get a penalty, because I know Gran Turismo can punish you severely if you miss any of these entries. So there you go. Pat Luxor's gone past me. He's up into P1 and I'm in the pits now for a change of tyres. I did decide to take another set of mediums. Maybe in hindsight I should have gone for the softs, but it wasn't aware that you needed to change to another compound. So as a safe bet, I just stuck it on another set of the mediums. So the Ferrari guys in and out quick as. I didn't actually short fill the fuel. I did check to see how much we had. We did have enough for another 2 laps, if not a few more. We're currently out on lap 8 now, coming out the pit entry, staying on the inside of the white line not to get any penalties, and we're in 4th place. We've got an 8-second gap between 3rd. I'm hoping one of those guys in front of me is going to pit, because my understanding is we haven't actually got much time left on the race. So currently lap 8 now, coming up to Spitzker, sharp right hand turn, overshot there because the tyres haven't actually got up to temperatures yet. And as you can see in the video, I've got 2 cars following me closely, which is Wildman Willie 99, and I'm not sure what the other guy's called, but he's in a red Ferrari. These were the guys I was actually chasing at the beginning, I think, because a lot of the guys in the lobby were renting the vehicles, not buying them, because they're over 300,000 credits, which I didn't have. Not played this game for 7 months, because the first time when I bought it, it needed a lot of updates. That's why I've not really touched it since. So coming up on Deppy 0110, we've caught him up from the last lap. That guy's definitely struggling for grip. Not sure what his strategy was, because he didn't go into the pits, he just carried on as is. So coming up to finish this lap onto lap 9, decided to take him on turn 1 by late on the brakes. He ended up braking a little bit later than me and running himself wide, so got that position back up into a podium position. I'm not actually sure if he interfered with the chasing 2 behind us, the 2 red Ferraris. So coming down that turn there, we've got a 1.9 second on close third. The guy's been chasing me since the very beginning of the race. Mustache is in second position, and if you've not noticed, Pat Luxor, the guy from the beginning of the race, he's actually got a 23-second lead, and I will explain the reasons for that. That guy started on the hard compound and has not pitted, which is in my book a great strategy if you can not fall too far back with the hard compound tyres, because I'm not sure how quick they are compared to the mediums. So this is basically coming up on lap 9 now. This is, as I'm aware, the last lap of the race. I've got a nice 2.5 second lead. So the race finishes pretty abruptly, as you've noticed, because it's not a duration of laps, it's a duration of time. So third place, up 5 positions from the back of the grid. I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. I hope it didn't rabble on too much. Definitely more content coming soon. Don't forget, if you do like my content, do please consider subscribing. I will post another video up in the corner for you right now to check out, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now. Hi guys, Fat Pudding here. Welcome back to another episode on my channel, Gran Turismo 7. This is another daily race at Laguna Seca. I qualified 7th on the grid. So I hope you enjoy this one, guys. This is the daily race one I did in the Genesis GR4 car, stock tune, no tune, because I'm not actually looked into doing that as yet, but I will do, hopefully get a bit more competitive by doing the tunes. So I'll give you a rundown, bit of voiceover of the race. So try to get straight into this guy's slipstream in 6th position, going up towards the Andretti hairpin. Just trying to keep it clean for the first couple of corners, get some heat into the tyres. Nearly hit him there, as you've seen. Got hit from the back and that guy in 8th place in that Ferrari. So up into turn 3, just get me braking markers right, keeping it smooth, make sure I don't lose a position. Same into turn 4, and then heading back up towards the back end of the track into turn 5. This is a tricky section, this coming up to this little under the bridge here. Don't run it too far, don't go too quick, otherwise you will miss out, go really wide, like that guy in 6th place did, that Chris. I think his name's Chris. So up towards the corkscrew now, turns 7, 8 and 8A as they call it. Keeping it tight behind him, looking for me chance. So that guy on the left ran a bit wide, Morris. I think that's an Italian flag. Do quote me if I'm wrong. So lost a bit of speed there, a bit of time. Coming around the last corner onto the main start-finish line. Looking for the opportunity to get on the inside of the Italian, but he's blocking me a bit, which is all fair. But he's keeping it wide, so to see if we can get up on the inside. He actually does the thing that I was going to do. He ends up hitting the guy in 5th place, Chris. I see the opportunity and I go for the move. Get 2 positions, up into 5th place. I then go towards the back end of the track now. Trying to catch up the Spanish guy in 4th position. Just make sure I'm checking my brake markers. But a bit of a toss up between 3rd and 4th here. That's Snake 69. Another Italian. Not actually sure if he's driving the the Seat, I think that's a Seat. Up towards the corkscrew again. Turn 7, 8 and 8A. Onto the rainy curve as they call it. Chasing down third place. As you can see, the Spanish guy went a bit wide there. Just trying to follow the driving line. I have got the driving line on, as if you noticed. You know, just learning the tracks as you go. Genesis is a good car. If you're actually interested in getting this one, good all-rounder for me anyway. Does suit my driving style. Not erratic on the acceleration or anything, or the braking, because I think I'm running traction control on 1 or 2. So back up into turn 1 and 2 again, the Andretti hairpin. We're lap 3 of 5, chasing down third place. He's got our 1.5 second lead, and we are 4 seconds off the leader. Going up into turn 4, under the nice tyre bridge or whatever you call it over the track. Looks pretty cool. Got the time down to 1.3 seconds. Hit me markers again, keeping it smooth. Second and third are fighting for position, so I'm hoping I can capitalise on them jostling for a bit. Maybe he can move a little bit further up the track if they do start fighting for the next couple of laps. Heading up again to the corkscrew. Just trying to hit me markers again, keeping it smooth. Heading towards turn 9, the rainy curve. Third is jostling, as you can see ahead, running a bit wide there on that corner. 2 Spanish guys in second and third. Coming up to the last turn now, which is turn 11. And I've got the Spanish guy in the same car as me, right on my tail. So second, third and fourth now. So braking a bit early there in that corner. That Frank Carias guy ran a bit wide, took the opportunity. The guy in third, the other Spanish guy in the same car, followed me through up into second place with 2 laps to go. Currently 3.6 seconds off the leader. So I've got the 2 Spanish guys, and I think that's a French guy in 5th place. A guy in front of me called Thomas. Can't see what car he's driving at the moment. Up to the corkscrew again. Got that corner right. That seems to be one of my hindrances, that corner. Seems to struggle for speed on that. Don't know how to take it. Bit concerned about you know, track limits on it, so just take it, being a bit precautious, especially with the corkscrew section as well. So coming out for the last couple of corners on lap 4. Got the time down to 3.3, but not a massive advantage there coming into the last lap. Around turn 11 again. Up over towards the start finish line. Thomas has still got the lead. I've broke a little bit on third place, 0.8 of a second. Coming into turn 2, which is the Andretti hairpin. Just taking it smooth again. Hit me markers. Make sure I don't make any mistakes. As you can see, the Genesis is a good car. I mean, 2 of us in the top 3 is pretty good. On to turn 4 and turn 5. Time is 3.2 seconds though. The guy is Thomas has definitely got enough lead to win this one, but I think the jostling hindered me on the opportunity to maybe get first. So up through turn 6, a tight left-hander up towards up the Rahal straight into turn 7, 8 and 8A, the corkscrew. Just getting it nice again. Not panicking too much by being chased by the guy in third place. But I've got enough gap now. Round turn 9 into the rainy curve into turn 10. Got it down to 2.5 seconds. That's 7/10 on the last lap, but I don't know if that guy made a mistake or not. So Thomas is coming round on the last turn 11, and I'm just finishing right behind him in second place. And I did check my times at the end of the race, guys. I did actually have the fastest lap. So hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Don't forget, if you do like my content, do please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell for when I post my next video. I do appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Hi guys, Fat Pudding here. Welcome back to another Forza Motorsport video on my channel. I'll just give you some information on the track. Sebring International Raceway in Central Florida has been the home of American endurance racing since shortly after World War II. It is often seen as the testbed for endurance racing, finest as they prepare for the 24-hour Le Mans. Over the course of more than half a century, its long straight technical turns and challenging racing services have been Americans' icon among the world's best known circuits. So I'll just give you some information on the race. I qualified second on the grid in the Ford GT. Can't really remember the lap time, but it was quite competitive. But the guy in front, this Unleashed Fury guy, he was I think he was about 2 seconds a lap quicker than me for the pole position. The current circuit we are currently racing on is the Sebring International Raceway full circuit, which is 3.7 miles, 5.95 kilometers. I'll also give you some information on the vehicle I am driving. This is off the wiki for the Forza Motorsport. The Ford GT was created to fulfill the most auspicious destiny in the world of motorsport, claiming victory at Le Mans, marking the 50th anniversary of the original Ford GT40's victory. The new Ford GT was built to prove that Ford can still dominate at the highest level of sports in car racing. So this vehicle, I think it was the stock, because this particular event was no tuning. So this car would be a 3.5 litre twin turbocharged V6. Stock is 630 brake horsepower, which is 539 pounds of torque, which is 731 newton meters. It's a mid-engined rear-wheel drive with a 7-speed transmission, roughly weighing about 2,890 pounds, which is just under 1,400 kilograms. So we'll get on with the race now. So I was trying to keep behind the guy on pole, but as you can see in the video, he was starting to pull away, and my priority was, because this was actually going to require a pit stop, which I wasn't aware of before the race. I was just hopefully just going to be doing a bit of tyre management, try and get some regular lap times in, consistent regular lap times, and the guy in third place will play a big part in this video, so we'll talk about that when the action arises. So as you look in the top left hand corner, you can see that this guy in third is 2.4, around 2 seconds ahead, and my concern was just basically just keeping that gap for as long as possible, because I knew this guy was quicker than me. So just trying to keep it consistent, try not to make any mistakes. But if you look in the top right hand corner, you can see that that gap is slowly coming down. So coming up to this corner here, I did have I did overbrake on this turn, because I think primarily when you're racing the game itself, you do start to feel like you are coming under a bit more pressure. The anxiety starts to kick in a bit more. You do start looking in your mirrors a bit too much, and you're not really concentrating on what you should be doing, which is just be looking forward, not checking your mirrors all the time. But as I'm using the cockpit view, I don't really have that awareness of my surroundings as much as you would be racing in the third person view that this game does actually provide. but with me using a steering wheel and not a joypad, I find this a bit better for me to concentrate. But there is a lot of sections in this track that you can easily make maybe 1 or 2 mistakes, and therefore it can actually impede your lap time. So coming up onto the back straight now, to the end of the second or third lap, I think it is. I did fill up the car for the whole duration of the race, so I wouldn't actually need to come in for extra time penalty with filling up the car itself for fuel. So it was just going to be just a tyre change. So Unleashed Fury now has got a very comfortable 4-second lead, and he, as you can see again in the video, he's pretty much on me now in the start of the third lap. And all I wanted to do now was make it as hard as possible for this guy to overtake me. So that basically would include covering the inside line of each corner and braking as late as possible for every turn. So it wouldn't be easy for him to either cut up on the inside of me. As you can see in the graphic in the center of the screen, he's on my left hand side now. So what I should be doing is pushing him more to the left as well within my right as a racer, and he should be slowing down and braking behind me. But broke a bit late on that corner there. Got a bit more of a chance to put on the power quicker than the guy in third to keep my position, and just basically just keeping him there as long as possible. But you will see in the video of what transpires. So keeping an eye on the graphic again, also checking my mirrors constantly. I knew I didn't have the pace. This guy was quicker than me, and I know I was impeding him, but at the end of the day I'm not going to let him past, because this is what racing's all about, and I wanted to win the race, or at least get a podium out of it. So coming up to the little technical section now, couple of left and right hand turns. This one I always seem to brake a bit too late and end up overshooting this corner, and then coming onto this the back straight again, and my concern was him being in my slipstream and he's going to be overtaking me. So what I end up doing is I end up pulling over to the right hand side, I think, but he ends up squeezing me and gets up on the inside, and I'm thinking, right, I'm going to have to brake earlier than him and cut up on the inside, which I do. Coming around the last corner, I do know he loses a little bit of grip because of where he's situated on the track. Cut up on the inside, and I'm back in my position just by a smidge coming past the start finish line, 0.1 of a second. So I'm still in second place, coming up to the start of the next lap, braking really late on that turn 1 and trying to hug the inside line to make sure that he can't make a move on the inside of me, but he ends up squeezing me again, pushes me a little bit to the right, and then backs off again. And then these little corners here, trying to keep on the inside line, up under the bridge to the sharp right hand turn coming up, which I do get wrong from time to time, especially more if you're actually under pressure as well. Didn't want to hopefully didn't want him to crash into me. Brake a bit late there, run a bit wide, but he does the same mistake. I honestly just think I'm buying me time now so I can get into the pits and maybe jump him in the pit lane. But it all comes down to strategy as well as you know, being consistent on the track and not making it as least mistakes as possible. So coming round through the infield section now, we've got a right turn and then another right coming up. Braking a bit late again. He's just waiting to make a move. He's pushing me again there on the inside. It's all fair racing. It's total respect to the guy. He's very, very professional when it comes to, especially this game, which isn't really primarily a simulated racing game. It's more of an arcade racer, but very much respected by him and myself for having a good competitive race. So we're coming up onto the back straight now, and this is where Nee makes his move. He's up on the inside of me now. I couldn't cover it up in time, and I think he's going to get his braking marker spot on this time to get up into second position. As he covers the inside line there, very respectable move. I'm just basically on the full power here, pushing us to the car to the limit, trying to get into his slipstream again. He's pulling wide for the start of turn 1 so we can get a nice exit. I was going to think about going up on the inside, but I knew that wouldn't be the right move due to the fact that I could actually have made contact and spun us both out. So I just thought I'd play the long game. And I also did realise that this guy would start pulling away now. So primarily with me looking at the tyre degradation in the bottom right graphic, you can notice that my left rear tyre is slightly losing a bit of grip, and now the left front as well, because the way the orientation of the track is, I think it pushes more onto the left hand side of the tyres. So what I was thinking here is just basically just to stay in front, and as you also notice now, we're actually fighting for the podium first and second, because that Unleashed Fury guy went into the pits on the previous lap. I ended up braking a bit too late on that corner there. I thought I was going to hit him, and as a respect I let him back through, because I thought that was a bit over aggressive on my part, and also didn't want to get any penalties. Hopefully the stewards would look at it kindly to say, well, okay, he's made a bit of a harsh move there, but there was no contact, which I was very relieved about, because I'm not actually sure how it would affect the vehicle going forward. So coming round for the next couple of corners now, we've got a right and then a left and a right and back onto the back straight, and I was thinking now is the best time with the tyre degradation is to go into the pits, and this actually made a great move on the strategy side of this race. So coming up onto the back straight now, coming around to the last corner, and this is my opportunity to get in and out the pits, quick tyre change, and hopefully jump him in the pit lane, and fingers crossed we will be able to come out and be in front of him by a safe margin. So into the pit lane now, we're going to get the crew, selecting the correct tyres. Went for another medium compound tyres. I'm not sure you actually have to change the compound. You can just stay on mediums or softs for example. So the Ford crew get me in and out in a nice 2.681 seconds, and I do actually make a mistake coming out the pit lane, as you'll see in a minute. So the other cars in this multi-car race, they've just gone past, and they've got the blue icon above the vehicles. So it's basically like a multi-car race, as I've just said. So this white line on the left hand side here, I thought that was actually the pit exit line, and then realised by mistake that's actually the track, the side of the track for the first corner. So I ended up running a bit wide on that corner there, but I didn't get a penalty by the stewards, which I was quite happy about. So currently up on, we've got 3 laps of fuel left. I think we're on like lap 6 now. I can't really confirm that because of where I've put the replay window, because it is actually covering the information which I can't see. So hopefully what I was thinking is I was going to come round to start the next lap, and we would find out where Knee would be. And if you look in the top left hand corner, you can see he has a 30.5 second lead, with the current pole sitter, Unleashed Fury, with a 15.5 second lead, but he does have a 0.23 mile penalty that could have been maybe going off the track or hitting a wall or whatever. I'm not sure how the penalty system works in regards to how the stewards dish out the penalties, because you know all games are different. So coming up to the little 2 little corners before we start the start fair onto the back straight again, and I'm constantly checking the graphic in the top left hand corner. So we've had a change of 3rd place. I presume that guy has just gone into the pits. So we're coming down to the last corner now, and hopefully we will find out where Knee is positioned. I wasn't actually sure if he came in the pits on this lap or it was actually the next one, but looking on the bottom left hand corner you can see there is a couple of vehicles in the pit lane. So back up onto the start finish line now, just coming past the pit lane on the right hand side, and if you look at the graphic again in the top left hand corner you can see Knee has actually been in the pits and for some absolutely strange reason, which I will actually give you information on, I actually come out with just over a 4.5 second lead. Now what my thinking is that he should have come in the pits with me, because the tyre degradation on the vehicle must have been that bad. He's lost that amount of time on doing an extra lap. That was my thinking anyway, because there's no other reason for why he would be that gap would be so big between me and him. So anyway, what I wanted to do now, because I knew he was quicker than me, but not by a considerable amount, was to finish off the duration of the race but keep that nearly 5-second lead around that time to the end of the race, and hopefully get a really nice second position where I started at the original start. So just constantly checking the position marker, just making sure I'm driving within my limit, not overdriving the car. I have actually got a couple of the assists on the vehicle due to trying without the assists and finding it quite difficult to keep the car on the track because of my aggressive racing style. I do actually really like to push the car as hard as possible. I think that doesn't help with the tyres as well. But looking at the replay in the top corner, you can see I've still got over a 4-second lead, and I've only got 1 lap of fuel coming up left. So I was also thinking maybe I've been overdriving the vehicle and used a bit too much fuel, and I'm going to run out of fuel. Anyway, coming up to the last corner, if you look ahead now, just past the start finish line, there is a car ahead, but we're not actually racing him for position. That's actually one of the other cars in this multi-car race. So coming round to the end of turn 1, coming up to this is the last lap now, but I remember rightly, as it's a duration race, not the amount of laps you do, as I said in my previous video I did. And happy to say that the distance is about 4 seconds, so I was quite happy with that and my ability to keep the position where I was by making a really good pit strategy there. So there you go guys, that's the end of the race. A full distance for 26.891 miles and the fastest lap of 2:05.711. The winner had a 2:04.615, and he was lapping around the same times as me at 2:05. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I do appreciate your support. If you do want to follow my content, do please consider subscribing and hit that notification bell for further updates. I will post a video in the top right hand corner for you to watch if you are still interested in watching another one. Thanks again. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now. Hi guys, Fat Pudding here. Welcome back to another Gran Turismo video. This one is in the Lancer Evo 10 or 9 round Blue Moon Speedway Infield A Reverse. That's a bit of a tongue twister. This one is another daily race that I did a couple of days ago. I think it was last week actually. Just going to give you a voiceover of the race. So currently up into 4th position, coming round the first corner, which is turn 1, which is like an oval track, starts off with an oval track, into turn 2, which could be quite tight. Still in 5th position behind Fred. Got the braking markers on, learning the track because they're all new to me. Trying to keep it smooth up into turn 2, coming down to turn 3. Trying to try and stay on the track actually, because the car wasn't actually the easiest to drive. Lost a couple of positions there to Lewis and GB. Trying to keep a tight line, just get some heat into the tyres so I'm getting to a nice steady rhythm, with this only being a 5-lap race. This track is 890 meters long and it's only half a mile in length, which, if you do think about it, it isn't actually that big. So still in 8th position, trying to stay away from the wall. That Lewis guy nearly hit it, because I do know you can actually get penalties. So back on to coming on to the last corner, which is turn 9, which is sector 3 up into turn 10 onto the back straight. Trying to get into a slipstream position, hopefully get a couple more positions. There's a guy on the right there just served a penalty, so I don't know why he pulled over into the pit section of the track to serve the penalty, but anyway, nice of him to do that, just to get out the way. So coming back round into sharp turn 2, the sharp turn 2 corner, into 7th place, because I picked up that position from that guy going in the pits. Trying to stay behind Ricky and another British guy there, I think his name is GB. Took a while for the tyres to start getting a bit of heat into, to get a bit of traction. Guy going really wide there in the background, still in 7th position. Up into the infield section, which is turn 5 and 6. Just trying to hope to maybe put a bit of pressure on the guys that I'm chasing, maybe to make a couple of mistakes. As you just seen there, that Ricky guy just hit the wall, got a bit of an overkill 5-second penalty, which is a bit silly in my book. I don't think it warrants such a heavy penalty for just making a small mistake. So Ricky's taking his 5-second penalty, which is basically going to end his race. Just starting lap 3 of 5 on the back straight again. Still in 6th position. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys, if you do like my videos. More content will be coming hopefully weekly. So starting to get that turn 2 section a little bit better. Know where my braking markers are. Still in 6th position. 5.5 seconds off the leader. Just under 2 seconds off 5th place. But there's 3 cars ahead, so hopefully I can capitalise on maybe getting another position. I think that Lewis has just been given a penalty. Don't know what for. Still in 6th place now, so actually jumped 2 positions by no fault of my own, by people getting penalties. Coming up to 7, 8 and 9 in 4th gear. Trying to keep it smooth, stay away from the wall on the left. So that Lewis, guys, he's been given a 5-second penalty. I only presume it's for hitting a wall or going off the track. Definitely too harsh on penalties, I think, for daily races, because 5 seconds is basically your race over. So back on the back straight again. I think we've got 2 laps to go. In 5th position now. We've got 1.8 seconds off 4th place. Do take this corner a little bit too hot. But that one's quite smooth. Still 2 seconds off 4th place. 3rd and 4th are fighting, jostling for position, so hopefully that'll help me make that little bit of time up. On the infield section now, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Still pushing as hard as I can. As you know, on these daily races there's no tuning. I think there's some on some cars, but not. I couldn't find anything on this one. So still pushing hard. In 5th place. We've got 1.4 off Dr. Speed, great name, and GB's 3rd. Still losing a little bit of time. 1.3 seconds off 4th place. Coming round to finish lap 4 onto the final lap. Get a lot of speed off this, take this full speed. No, I got that corner right. I must have missed that bit where I went a bit wide on that first turn 2. Still 1.7 behind, losing a bit of time. Still learning the track. I suppose if you put a bit of time into these things, you could actually get a lot quicker. Round 3 and 4. Come up to turn 5, 6 and 7. 1.6 seconds. Seems to be into a rhythm now. Can't seem to gain any more. Just hoping for mistakes, to be honest. Coming around 8 and 9. Onto the last section. To the start finish line. Final lap. Not the most exciting race, guys, do apologise for that, but more content will be coming weekly. Hope you enjoyed this one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you do want to get notifications when I post my next video. I do appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye for now. Hi guys, Fat Pudding here. Welcome back to another episode of my channel. This one is another Forzamotorsport video, and we're currently at Brands Hatch driving the Porsche GT3 RSR. I'll just give you a little information on how I stacked up on the qualifying. I actually came second on the grid. Did try a little bit harder than usually, just leaving it till the very end, then just jumping in and starting at the back and see how far I can get to the front of the track. So I'll just give you some information on the track itself. Originally a dirt track in 1926, the historic Brands Hatch is one of the few British circuits to stage the Grand Prix, IndyCar and NASCAR races. Nearly every famous race driver from the past 50 years has raced this unique combination of dips, canvas, fearsome corners and hills. Turn 1 Paddock Hill Bend is a fine example of a tricky right-hander running downhill that can actually go from bad to worse for the inattentive driver. The entire Indy circuit, measuring 1.1 miles long, can be viewed by spectators thanks to the natural amphitheatre